Hi, so I'm in Leighton Bromswold. I've towed my 1951 D1 BSA Bantam to Leighton Bromswold, and Tony and Bill have allowed me to park the old Focus and trailer in their front garden, and I'm fully loaded up with my Bantam. Those that know me know that for a few years now I've had a bucket list, and one of those is green laning, and that's what I'm going to try to do this morning. It's about 1.5 to 2 miles long, and there is an intersection going left to right that is contested by the farmer. However, I'm on what they call the RTO. If you don't know what an RTO is, Google it. Gives me an entitlement to ride it. It's a bridleway that is open to motorised traffic that closes on the 1st of October till the 31st of March, and then if the weather conditions allow and the soil is good, we can ride and drive that road. But it's an old droving road that runs parallel to the A14 as far as Spaldwick, and was used in the old days for droving cattle in this area, not sheep, cattle. And yeah, let's go take a ride, and then hopefully when I return, if I return and I'm not pushing my bike or limping back to collect my trailer, I'm going to have a pint in the Green Man at Leighton Bromswold. This is the luggage for the expedition that I'm going on. I'm using Rock Straps ROK for those motorcyclists that perhaps have the odd occasion to carry anything other than passengers. Just Google ROK. They are typically, to anything that's at the top of their game, they're expensive, but they are probably the best strap that I've come across for securing your motorcycle luggage. You'll notice here I've got the Manfrotto Magic Arm attached securely for the selfie stick for the Insta360, which I'm carrying there. So there we've got the iPhone selfie, there we've got the tripod. Inside we've got the drone, we've got some camera packs, we've got and cameras. Right, let's go riding.
Don't worry folks, there's not much voiceover on this video. However, I thought I'd show you and demonstrate and talk about Hypersmooth technology. For those people that are considering buying an action camera, you don't get this with the cheap action GoPro copies that you see on the market. What we're seeing here is an image stabilization algorithm running within the GoPro called Hypersmooth, and this is Hypersmooth 5.0. So if you look at the center of the screen, you'll see that the center of the screen rarely moves, whereas the handlebars are all over the place, and this would actually translate into quite bad shake on a cheaper camera. So if you're out looking for action cameras for motorcycling, remember that whilst the cheap cameras are extremely cheap, buying a camera that incorporates such technologies such as Hypersmooth, like the DJI Osmo and the GoPro range, in my opinion, and having wasted hundreds with cheaper cameras, it's certainly worth it for off-road adventures like this. But anyway, let's get back to the video. Hope you found that tip useful.
Fantastic Cambridgeshire countryside. I'm not sure that this chest harness is tight enough, but there's an opening up there. Wow, look at that. Can you see that? Look at that. It's just there. I don't know whether you can see it. Fantastic. Right, let's continue our ride. Again, I've stopped. The scenery is stunning, and I'm going to go take a closer look at that fungi. Caught my eye as I rode past. Let's go take a closer look. What are we actually looking at there? Look at that. And the countryside's alive with fresh fruit. I'm not sure you could eat that. I don't think I'd be eating that, but the track is fairly stable. Obviously there's been a few Land Rovers or cars that have come through, and once my narrow BSA tyres get in one of these ridges, and the GoPro will be quite hard to pick up. Maybe you can see it there. Once you're in them, it's quite hard to get out of them, and it takes a few guts to give it a few revs. I don't have that much brake horsepower to get out of it, but I think I've got about another mile. But yeah, phenomenal. And then I do what's called the Spaldwick Loop. So over here is the village of Spaldwick, and then there's a road that runs on the tree line across the ridge. You can just see the telegraph pole, power pylons, and there's a car moving right to left just at the top of the yellow harvested fields, and I basically ride the tree line at the top there. But yeah, let's continue our journey. Here we go. I'm only in first and second gear. I ain't in a rush to either hurt my bike or myself, and I've been going for about, I don't know, about a mile and a half. I'm very blessed that it's dry. I wouldn't like to ride this in the wet. The selfie stick with the Insta360 is bouncing around like nobody's business. That was good. I tried a combination of drone, static, so the drone was hovering on a GPS fixed signal so it wouldn't move as I was riding through the scene. Very hard to compose. I'm on a ridge line, as I said, and you can see the ground drops away. There's quite a high wind coming up from the ground surface as it hits the ridge. Then I use Lightchi, which is a third-party paid-for app that basically follows the controller, so that if you've got the controller on you, the drone will follow you. You set the parameters, which is the height and the distance from you. I tried to get a bit cheeky, probably like a lot of my friends say that I am, and I tried to bring the drone down closer to me, and what I didn't allow for was the fall away of the ground either side of the hedgerow. And when it was taking a GPS reading, that 2 metre trench either side of the ditch that is quite common in Cambridgeshire, the drone actually just skimmed the hedge, and I had to use a Insta360 selfie stick to recover the drone. It was no drama really, and to be honest with you, when you push the envelope of unmanned, uncontrolled drone footage, and that's all questioned very legally, isn't it, from the certificates that we all sign when we pass the exam. But anyway, the Lightchi drone, the bits that you can see with the drone following me are the automation of that drone following the controller. I'm not actually doing anything. I do have to have a word with my friend Mark and others in the 3D printing world, because it's extremely hard holding a drone controller and riding a motorcycle when you're in these tramline rutways. So I need to give some thought about going future if I want to do that. To be honest, that's the second spill with the drone that I've had in 4 outings. Whilst it follows you, it's not brilliant at it. But anyway, I've ridden about 1.5 miles. I've got about half a mile left. We're going to go through some woodland in a minute, so let's switch to the GoPro and the 360 camera. Perhaps we need to switch that to the front. I think I need higher front foot pegs to clear this. Yeah, okay, I'm riding the top of the ridge. There's 4x4 ridges left and right. Not that bad though. Really not that bad. Smoothed out now. It's obviously the harder ground, protected by the grass. Okay, so I'm going to switch the Insta360 to the front. Wow. So that's the A14 down there. So I'm riding the ridge, and the village in the distance that you can see is Spaldwick. A14 to Birmingham eventually, after about an hour. Probably be more appropriate for me to say Corby, wouldn't it? And Findon. But we're blessed, aren't we? We're blessed. But as I said earlier, I lost my GoPro selfie stick, so what I've got here is the centre of the Manfrotto tripod clamping with a camera clamp the chest harness for the GoPro, so it's not ideal. That's the strap you can hear rattling on the leaky petrol tank. But yeah, dragonflies, butterflies, birds, big birds of prey. It's amazing how far sound travels. Must be over, well, must be close to a mile, mustn't it? You can still hear those lorries. Very big ridges. The 360 must be moving several, well, must be moving a metre vertically. Must be moving metre. Back into the woodland.